Hi everyone. Hope you had a great second day of Lent season. I am jumping on a video. Gosh, I look like I'm bundled up. But I'm jumping on a video very quickly. It's very late at night and I've had a long day and I'm freezing. I just came inside from walking my dogs and it's freezing out. So, I wanted to read a story from the Bible for my second day. And here I am. I made it. I'm keeping myself accountable for my word. So I'm here. And I'm taking a few minutes to do this. And it'll probably be a short video because I'm exhausted from yesterday. And I have a far drive tomorrow, so I'll be driving all day. So I just kind of wanted to jump on, not a live, but I'm filming this. So today I wanted to read a story out of Matthew and it's chapter 17, verses 1 through 9. And it's called the Transfiguration. After 6 days, Jesus took him. Let me start over. My eyes are bugging out. And don't mind my dogs. They're making noise out there. After 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter, James, and John, the brother of James, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. There he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. Just then there appeared before them Moses and Elijah talking with Jesus. Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, is it good for us to be here? If you wish, I will pull up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was speaking, a bright cloud covered them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell face down on the ground, terrified. But Jesus came and touched them. "Get up," he said. "Don't be afraid." When they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus. As they were coming down the mountain, Jesus instructed them, "Don't tell anyone what you have seen until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." And my interpretation of this is Jesus explaining, don't tell anyone until, Jesus said, until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead. So in other words, wait for people to believe in what they're seeing, not just by words, but what they see. So I also think, gosh, I don't know if I messed that up or not, but this is my interpretation of it. I believe it to be that we must do what Jesus says for us to do. Let me just take this scarf off. I'm getting warm now. And we must just do do as he's asking us to do, and we must obey his word, and just through the Lent season, we just remember the goodness of the Lord and of God, and praise Jesus through all of, not only praise, but be grateful for him and what he's done for us, and he's given us grace, I guess. And gosh, I feel terrible because I feel like I'm not like interpreting well. I did find, I did want to read something else about this story, and it says, after the resurrection, the Son of God appears to the disciples with all his divine authority, calling them to baptize and teach people to obey his commands. So I think that's what I was trying to say, like to obey his commands and live like he would live, and live in purity, and live in following his will and his, although we have free will, we should, as Christians, have the willpower and the strength to speak the truth about him and be able to show others who may not know, or who may struggle, or who may not be able to get through the belief of him, but to believe. And the Bible is how to believe. He's given us life, and he's went through all of the tests and all of the not sin, but he's went through all of the trials and tribulations, I guess is the way to say it. And so he is teaching his disciples. I don't know what to say. Hold on a minute. What is it that he wants to say about that? He's yeah, his disciples. Let me see what else it says. Just basically saying we must listen and obey. And if I'm not being clear right now, it's only because I've literally been running nonstop for this whole week, and I'm just exhausted. So I'm trying to make sense. Even tonight, my daughter and I had an appointment, and I felt like I was making no sense whatsoever. So now I'm fading out, and I'm just tired. I just want to go to bed. So I'm, again, just going to say, let us just speak the word of Jesus. Let others know that we should, well, I mean, we have free will, so we should, could, would, everything, but it's up to our own. We should speak the good word of him, but it's up to our own selves to have, like, to choose our will in life. And clearly you can't make another person do anything. But when people say that they don't believe, well, they need to open up the Bible and read, because the truth is there. And you can apply it to any situation in life, and it's definitely anything that you're looking for, that you need help with in life. All you do is pick up the Bible and read it, and it's there. There's another YouTuber that I follow, and I can't even think. He asked the question. His name is Sacred One, and he asked the question today about, oh my gosh, my brain is just, I forgot even how he posed the question, because my brain is just shot right now. What? Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it. But, oh, this is terrible. I can't think. It'll come to me, but it won't be now. And I'll have to say it again in another video. But he was just having like a ministry, and he was just talking about Jesus and believing and that kind of stuff. And then he said, what makes, Oh my goodness, I forgot the question and I feel so silly right now. But anyway, I think the question was what makes us believe in Jesus or something like that, or what makes us so strong with our belief in Jesus. I don't know, something to that effect. And I believe that was what it was. So anyway, I said the truth. Like, Jesus is the truth. And he said, yeah, he said, I would agree with you. In other words, like, he would agree with me having said the truth. And it truly is. It's the truth. There's, I'm only fairly new at picking up the Bible and studying it, not just knowing the Bible and the stories and things like that just from going to church and stuff. No, I'm actually learning the Bible, and I only just started learning it recently, like maybe the last year-ish. So I don't really know a whole lot of it. So I'm kind of learning and teaching myself at the same time. But I went through a phase in life where I always believed in God. I just never studied it as deep as I have been lately. And it's truly amazing because there's there's parts of my past when I was, after going through everything I went through, I was trying to find my way through life because I was so broken. And I couldn't figure it out, and I couldn't find my way through life. And I was even, like reading into all kinds of like spirituality, this and that and whatever. And I was just like, oh no, none of this makes sense, because it just didn't. I mean, I didn't know it at that time, but as I was learning more and more, I was just like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. I'll never forget, because I'm just like a very generous person and a very nice person. But anyway, there was a knock at my door for the Mormons or something, and they came to my door and they were knocking. I didn't know who it was, and then I answered eventually. And I answered, and they wanted to preach their word of Jesus or whatever with me. And and I was like, I told my daughter, I said, I'm just stepping outside for a minute. And I stepped outside, and I think I was out there for about 40 minutes, and they were talking to me about Jesus and stuff, and they were trying to sway me to believe in their book or whatever. And I was talking with my daughter, and I'm talking with them and stuff. And then afterwards, I think they gave me a book, the Book of Mormons or whatever. And I was just being polite when I was talking with them. I was just being polite, but I didn't, like, they were trying to get me to go to their church and stuff like that and believe their belief. So it's a funny story, because I turned around after I said goodbye, and I turned around and I walked back inside, and I walked in with this book, and my daughter just looked at me with this, like, she always gives me this like little evil eye kind of look. Not evil, but she gives me this eye, her side eye, I call it. And she looked at me and she's like, Mommy, that book should not be coming in this house. We don't believe in that. And I started laughing. I was like, I know, I just was trying to be polite. And she says, no. And she opened it up to the first chapter or something of the book, and she started reading it, and she started laughing. And she says, do you know this says that, it was like she says, this is not true. This is not real. This is all American names in here. And it was just funny how she interpreted everything. And I was like, yeah, I know, honey. I was just being polite. And she says, yeah, well, you don't have anything to do with them. And I said, no, okay. So, so every time they would actually come back and they would be knocking on the door and my dogs would go crazy and we just never answered it ever again. And I don't know how I went off on that tangent, but that's probably, oh, because of that question that was on another YouTuber was talking on their live today. And so tying it all back, it is absolutely the truth. After, you know, years of, in the last couple of years, I guess, of trying to find myself again, being, I was so far gone and so lost in me and who I was, just totally gone. I had no, I just was, I don't even know. It's so weird to look back on it now because I was like, what happened? Like, who is that person? I didn't know her. That wasn't who this person is. Because the way I am now is the way I used, like, the way I am now is the way I used to be growing up, 18, 19, 20, or whatever. And then from ages, you know, a little bit older, you know, for a good amount of time, 13 years, I was like a totally different person, only because I was taking on so many like, which is a whole nother video I'll get into, but taking on so many of my ex-husband's demons, it was disgusting, actually. It was really sad. And it destroyed me. Like, it truly destroyed me. And yeah, I don't want to go back into, I don't want to even think, not that it bothers me, but I'd rather not go on a tangent on that note before trying to relax. Anyway, I will end it here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned a little bit. I am going to learn slowly more and more for how to interpret some of the stories that I read, but I do know that this is one of the stories that was good to read during Lent season, or the season of Lent. So God bless and have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed night. Good night. Ciao.